This is 911 Season 6, Episode 8 discussion slash review titled, What's Your Fantasy? And some people had a pretty weird fantasy. Let's talk about it.
Live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'm a big fight.
I know I'm a lot late, but I've been trying to catch up on my YouTube channels because I was sick, but I am finally caught up on one and I'm catching up on this one right now. But I gotta say, I really loved this episode. It was a great episode and it held true in true 911 fashion. Now, this episode was titled, What's Your Fantasy? And I feel like that question was answered and asked throughout the entire episode. We got to see a bunch of different fantasies take place, and a lot of them involved cases, but then we got to see a couple that involved our main cast as well. And I felt like that was fun, enjoyable, and it did get a little dark right there towards the ending of the episode, but it could have went either way, and it came out with a nice, wonderful ending, and that was the episode. Now let's talk about some of these cases. The first case we have is at like this Renaissance little fair festival, whatever, with these two sisters, and then one sister gets swarmed by an attack of bees, and her life's kind of in danger a little bit, and she's talking to her sister about her fantasy and being in this fantasy world, and that fits with the title. Then her getting swarmed by the bees, and then 911 coming to have save her, and her sister's like, well, women can be heroes too, and Hen saved her, which was nice. It was cool. But like this episode, there were some stupid fantasies as well, man. And one of the stupid fantasies that just burst into my mind just happens to be these two fools that's riding on the top of the fire engine, and they're trying to make love on top of the fire engine. Then the husband gets all up and flips off the fire engine, and she has a gash on her forehead. And I just don't get it. I just don't see it. Like, there was no purpose for this. Find another way to, to get your love life flowing and your love juices flowing. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that's stupid. And Bobby told them as much so. And then Buck was like, yeah, that came from Backdraft. But we also see Buck watching Ji-yoon this episode while Chimney and Maddie trying to find a house, and then they try to like switch up their whole house, for Ji-yoon, but like she's close to that terrible 2's age. Like, it was fun watching this entire episode. We see Hen and Athena, scratching we see Hen and Athena doing lottery tickets, and then giving like what they would want out of their fantasy after they're winning. Like, it was a lot to do with the title, but I feel like it was a very good episode. We have Christopher doing his whole thing. Eddie set him up with the soup. He looking sharp. Then we have Christopher with his whole thing. Eddie setting him up with the suit. He's over here looking sharp, but he has a little school dance thing or whatever he's going to, and he doesn't want to tell Eddie because, he might have a girl he's trying to see. You like, is there a date over there? Okay, I see you, Christopher. And I feel like one thing about the series that I really, really love is the way that they showcase Christopher. They don't like limit his character or anything. Like, they actually explore upon it. You know what I'm saying? He does everything that he wants to do, being a kid and everything. And I think that's one thing that 911 does very, very well for Christopher's character, in my opinion. We also have another fantasy with this case with this guy that's working for his boss, and he's fantasizing about killing his boss. Yet again, like I said, like some weird fantasies in there, man. But, he never really acted on it. It was just always in his imagination. And then the one day, like, he thought that he was having a delusional break. It actually happened because his boss had a heart attack. Now, he thought he killed him and he was just losing his stuff. But that's not the case. His boss had a heart attack from overwork, more than likely. And what I loved about the entire point of this entire episode was that all the people with their fantasies, they started out one way and they ended in a fantastic light. You know what I'm saying? Towards the ending of the episode, we see all of these fantasies kind of come full circle. The sisters at the Renaissance Fair, they went back. The other sister's feeling some type of way, and she's engaged in the Renaissance of it all. The guy that was working for his boss decided to quit and asked for a letter of resignation. And sure, the boss was going to sign it because, for one, he's a good employee, and two, he basically saved his life. So let's give him his credit. Some people didn't learn. The couple that flipped off the fire engine, they were at it again in the hospital room, so, in the elevator. So some people will and some people won't learn their lesson. But what I wanted to highlight about this episode was May. I love May's character, and we know we haven't really seen her this much this season because she's decided to go off to school, but she came back with a boyfriend in tow, and like there's this whole story going on with that. But we haven't gotten enough about that to really just learn. So at this point, we're going to leave it that she has a boyfriend that's been off at college, but he's decided to come back to LA to go to college with her. And because he kind of wants to be home a little bit more too. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's for May, but you know, his parents are there too. Now, we see that May kind of involves herself in this whole other little other story that's kind of involving like one of his weird roommates that has this whole little ledger about him wanting to commit this crime and everything. And I feel like May done the right thing. I was a little worried that the dude was kind of like creeping out on her and he may kind of stalk her. I didn't get the whole gist of it until we got the information, which was about him thinking that, you know, the whole world's turned against the men doing the right thing. You know, it's all for the women and all. It's lunacy, but I get why, you know what I'm saying, somebody probably gave him this nice little rhetoric and he took it and ran with it. But May was able to calm him down, talk him down, and get help for Darius at the same time. So big ups on May, her having that life experience that Henrietta and Athena was talking about in the episode. It really came to play in this forefront. So sure, she's going to college, but I could definitely see May either going back to the 911 field or being an officer or something along that sort, because I feel like that's definitely there for her, and I think that's a way to expand on her character. Maybe let her finish college and then decide to pursue that, or a detective or something, but I can definitely see her working along that lines. Overall, the episode was great. I enjoyed it, and it felt good to have it back for me. I know you guys have already seen it, and I'm late, but it felt good to be back with 911. And I like how everything kind of just worked out overall. Sure, like I said, it was a little tension right there at the ending, but all of the fantasies, all the people that had their fantasies, you know, it worked out in the end. And some had a better result than the others, but it worked out. And then we see May having a wonderful time with Darius towards the end of the episode and her putting her best foot forward. And I feel like that's definitely something that needs to come back into play for me, especially with May and her character. But overall, I love the episode and I cannot wait to go check out episode 9. It's your boy, Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe. Peace out.
I cannot complain because today, I'm doing my thing.